Where do I even begin with this chapter? Where? I thought the previous chapter gave me one hell of a mind-blowing effect, but this one? Wow. Hopefully, I'm gonna be able to cover everything in this chapter, and if I miss anything, please talk about it in the comment section, because I really want to talk about this chapter. First of all, Garp, Big Mom, and Kaido. So there is this big conversation between Big Mom and Kaido. Two mortal enemies in some way, but they are Yonkous, two of the most powerful pirates in the entire world. And by the way that I'm seeing it, they want to create an alliance to take out Luffy. But Big Mom wants to be the one to kill off Luffy once and for all, because otherwise her name will never be redeemed. Just like we saw in the previous arc, because Luffy raised hell and came out alive out of Big Mom's turf, and that is a real shame for her. Just to show how powerful these guys are, they're not even hiding the fact that they are talking to each other, to the Marines. It's like they're saying that you don't like it, come and do something about it. And of course, the Marines, with the Reverie going on, they cannot do shit. Even Sakazuki recognized it. He cannot send forces out there. Considering that Kaido is dominating Wano country for the moment, Wano is not part of the alliance of the world government, which means they don't know how powerful samurais are. And let's be frank, samurais will be over the top. Like, for Zoro, it's gonna be like Candyland for him. You know, it's really funny how the Marine thinks that the admirals and the Shishibukai can go up against the Yonkous. I believe at a certain level they can, but here's the thing: the Shishibukai, they are pirates. Like, these guys, they don't give a shit. But if the world government calls them, look, we have to fight some Shishibukai, the Yonkous, some of them will just say, fuck no. Like, I'm not gonna die for your ass. Granted, they can have their Shishibukai title revoked from the world government, but at that point, I don't even think that they care. Which leads to only the admirals. Let's face it, as powerful as they are, they're not gonna be able to hold their own against a Yonkou. During the previous arc of Big Mom, we've seen how powerful a Yonkou can be. Big Mom was, when she was starving and craving for cake, she was losing weight. She was getting weaker. And even at that point, she was still a threat to be reckoned for. Imagine Kaido, a guy who cannot die. Like, how the hell can you come on top of that? Forget it, Marines, you're game over. Something that was very interesting to discover is that Garp made his name in the era where Big Mom and Kaido were the ones ruling the seas. And these guys were there before Roger, and Roger shook the game like nobody did. And he became king of the pirates at the end. And Garp was already known before that, during the era where Kaido and Big Mom were the big names. Therefore, Garp already had a big history between Big Mom and Kaido. But there was something that Colonel Hina said. She said, even if they lost their captain, they've become stronger. I have a feeling that she was talking about Big Mom and Kaido, because during that conversation that they had, Kaido apparently owes a favor towards Big Mom. Seeing the way it is, I have a feeling that before being mortal enemies and rivals, I have a feeling that they might have been in the same crew, just like Shanks and Buggy the Clown. And if that's the case, their captain, who was that? I mean, to have a captain as powerful, more powerful than Big Mom and Kaido in their prime, if you like, man, who could that be? I would love to explore who those figures were. Like, a figure that could be the captain of Big Mom and Kaido and even Whitebeard. It would be interesting to explore who were those figures. I think that one of the most what the fuck moment of this chapter was being introduced to the empty throne. First of all, the way this panel was drawn, epic. It was beautiful to see. But the history behind this seat, oh my god! I went crazy seeing that, like reading that and that oath you have to do for every king to not greed over dictatorship, to not rule over the other. I mean, that's what all kings must do. The most interesting part was the fact that there were 20 swords around this throne, and those 20 swords belong to the 20 kings and probably queens who founded the world government. Now, about that throne, nobody can sit on it because nobody cannot rule over the other kings and all that. But if that would have happened, the world would have none but one king. Stupidly saying this, but I imagine Luffy sitting on that throne by accident. Like he's just coming there, it's like maybe exhausted, it's like, oof, I need a seat. And he's just sitting there and he's being caught by soldiers and they're like, what the hell are you doing? But you see Stelly, and he's already gunning down for that seat. As silly as he is right now, let's remember one fact. This guy, this silly king, this guy was able to become king, even though that he was adopted. Personally, the way I see it, I would watch out for this guy because I have a feeling that this guy is more ambitious than we think. And he's gonna come back later on in the story, even after Wano, and he's gonna gun down for that seat. Something that I learned in this part was the fact that the five elders, aka the Gorosei, these guys are like they are the ultimate authority of the world. I already knew that, but I thought that they were the ultimate authority in the Marine organization. All right, like I thought that even above, um, even above the admirals and the commander in chief, these guys were there. I mean, they are, but apparently these guys, in terms of political power and everything else, they even surpass the Celestial Dragons, which is a good thing if you don't mind saying, because well, it's a good thing, but at the same time, they're not doing much. Because let's face it, the Celestial Dragons have been abusing their powers for centuries, for fucking centuries. These guys, the Gorosei, they know what's going on. They just don't dare lift a finger against them. They could. They could just go to the Celestial Dragons. Hey, you know what? We don't need you guys anymore. So, Marine soldiers, arrest them. And they could do that, but they can't. I'm guessing that these guys are playing puppeteers with the Celestial Dragons. It could be possible because, you know, people need something to fear to be submitted. And what if that fear figure are the Celestial Dragons, manipulated by the Gorosei, the five elders? And this manipulative game, it could be to hide something even bigger than the entire world itself. Let's not forget, all right? Rewinding 800 years ago, no, sorry, 900 years ago, there was this great kingdom that was flourishing, prosperous, and perhaps very highly advanced in technology. You know, this kingdom was beautiful, it was prosperous, like life was even bigger than life itself. I don't know if that makes sense, but you know. And then you get 20 kingdoms that saw this kingdom, this great kingdom. They were like, let's bust this motherfucker and wage war and fuck this kingdom. That's what they did, all right? Including the Nefertari, the same kingdom that that Princess Vivi is from. After a long war, the Great Kingdom lost. And to make sure that their legacy would live on, the poneglyph stones were created to tell the history, the real history of the blank century. And after that war, 19 out of those 20 kings from those kingdoms decided to move to Marijua to form then after the world government. I am guessing that these 19 kings, you know, no one wanted to rule over the world because, and that is why this empty throne is empty, you know, to make sure that no king would be above another, you know, even them. I'm guessing that the founders of the world government didn't want to have war among themselves to finally have one person to sit on the top of the world. So I believe this is one of the main reasons why this throne is empty. So instead of having one king to answer to, let's have a group of people known as gods, the Celestial Dragons, to do whatever the fuck they want and to be feared, and have someone no have another group of people, the five elders, above them to perhaps control them if needed. But in the meantime, they are doing, well, pretty much whatever the fuck they want. Therefore, what I'm trying to say is, I have a feeling that the power of these celestial dragons is about to be expired soon. I don't know when, but perhaps at the beginning of the end of the series. There's going to be another great war. It's coming. It's coming. But once this is happening, the celestial dragons will worth nothing. Princess Shirahoshi. I know it. Charlos was about to do something stupid as trying to uh, to appropriate her for his own gain. And I thought that this would cause a massive political disaster. But you know what? It turns out that these Celestial Dragons are even more powerful than I thought. Like, even royalty is not exempt from their cruelty. If they want something, they just take it and that's it. You're there. You look strong. You're gonna be my new slave. Damn, girl, look at that ass. You're my bitch now. That's what it is. What happens next was not only refreshing, but game changing for the entire series. Like, I did not expect another celestial dragon to come to the defense of Shirahoshi, and that celestial dragon was the same guy that was saved by Queen Otohime in Fishman Island. Don Quixote, same family as the flamingo, by the way. Don Quixote, um, okay, his name is pretty difficult to pronounce. Mjosgard. Yeah, I'm just gonna call him Mjosgard. You know who I'm talking about. So yeah, Don Quixote Mjosgard. This guy was the same celestial dragon that was saved by Queen Otohime, and this guy was reformed and changed into a human celestial dragon. And you have no idea how important that is because, like I said, this is game changing. A good celestial dragon with enough power to support an entire kingdom or many other kingdoms. Like, we all know that the power of a celestial dragon is absolute, and with a guy like that, like Josgard, he could, I don't know, inspire other people to follow suit. His new ideals could change a lot of people's mentality, and perhaps some other celestial dragons might follow suit. If not, this figure, this one celestial dragon, could give his support to many other factions, or maybe some other pirates, like Luffy, for example, or the Revolutionary Army. Because we know that right now in Malaysia, there is, okay, you know what? I'm gonna get back at that later on, okay? Because I got a lot to talk about regarding this matter. But anyways, having a good Seto Dragon, like, you have no idea. It's game changer. Like, for Fishman Island, it's already history in the making. Like, you know that this guy is gonna support Fishman Island and relationship between humans and fishmen for the ages to come if things goes well. Like, this Celestial Dragon is like a blessing. The protection that he can provide is even bigger than ones of a Yonkou. Like, it's really unimaginable. No, sorry, it's really unbelievable the things that can be possible. You know, King Neptune, like Neptune was about to go head to head against Rob Lucci, and Rob Lucci was going to, kill him probably. And I gotta say, Rob Lucci, I knew he was going to appear sooner or later. Like, I'm not even surprised that he was there. Same as Kaku, apparently he's there as well. Um, I'm wondering what happened to the other members of CP9. But anyways, um, I'm a bit disappointed because I thought that, his sense of justice would be higher than that. I thought he would be just a little bit more independent, but turns out it doesn't matter who he serves. If it is within the world government, he's just gonna follow suit. So I'm kind of a bit disappointed. So yeah, going back to Don Quixote Mjosgard, the guy is a blessing for Fishman Island. But I have a feeling that even if some people disagree with him, his support and the resource behind that could benefit other parties, like some kingdoms supporting the Straw Hats, for example, or even the Revolutionary Army. Because as far as we know, he's the only one, the only Celestial Dragon that has a human heart, that cares for life, that wants to protect it, that wants to be noble and kind and giving. That last panel, Shanks and the Gorosei, the five elders, they want to talk about a certain pirate. I want to believe that it's about Luffy, but I don't know. It could be somebody else. Like, okay, Luffy right now, he is attracting a lot of heat. Like he has Big Mom and Kaido on his tail. But I have a feeling that Shanks, like, it might be someone else. Like it could be something like I don't know who it could be. Maybe it's an unknown figure we haven't seen. Maybe it's about Joy Boy. Like at that moment, the name Joy Boy has been very frequent in social network about One Piece and all that. Man, things are going crazy. But a meaning like that is unbelievable. Right now in Managua, you have kings and queens, lesser dragons, marine forces, revolutionary army members, a Yonkou, and of course the five elders, and a secret that dated back almost 900 years ago. You mix that all together, and this is this chapter with more secrets hidden. What can I say? This chapter was mind blowing, and even though that the Reverie arc is not gonna last long, yo, I can actually say that the next 4 weeks, I'm anxious to see those chapters. And thank God that One Piece is not a monthly release series, because we would have been crazy, alright? So anyways, this chapter was epic, incredible. The information was mind-blowing. I don't know what else I can say about that, alright? So comment, let's talk about this. Please, let's talk about this. And Pirates, I'll see you guys next week. In the meantime, please do me a favor for your homeboy. Take care of yourselves. See ya.